Hi, thank you for joining me for the presentation on the four learning models. This will be an exploration into different learning environments. I am going to discuss four different learning models or learning environments. The first one is going to be traditional face-to-face. Then we will discuss web facilitated, followed by blended hybrid, and then finally online. In a traditional classroom, the learning is face to face. There is human interaction. There's usually no technology involved at all in a face to face classroom under this definition provided by Butcher and Conrad. It is tier one of the multi axis framework and it's usually synchronous only, which means everyone is in class at the same time. The amount of time that it is delivered online, 0%. Now let's explore the benefits and drawbacks of a traditional face-to-face classroom. In terms of the benefits, students can listen and take notes. If they have a question as they are taking notes, they can immediately receive feedback and instructors are able to adjust instruction in real time. Character building allows for students to interact with other humans in a physical space where they can develop their social emotional needs and learn how to manage interactions with their peers. Body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can have significant impact on the learning dynamics in classrooms and groups and on learning experiences and outcomes. According to Professor Barry Todhunter's article on online learning and distance education, this is the case. Now, in terms of drawbacks, some of the elements that we would characterize as benefits can also be drawbacks. For example, listening and taking notes in a traditional classroom means more difficulty leveraging the students being able to learn at their own pace and being able to pause or play back information as much as needed for their diverse needs. Also, synchronous learning is not as conducive to adults' learning because of their busy schedules and because they're juggling a myriad of commitments. The next learning environment is web facilitated. This is where we incorporate an online dimension to our learning environment. We use it more for broadcasting and posting elements of the classroom, such as syllabi, homework assignments, or announcements. According to Mark Piercy, a professor at Rider University, this is where we are learning from the internet to gather information as opposed to learning with the internet. And what is the amount of time that is delivered online? Well, it is a modest 1 to 29% with this model. Now for the benefits and drawbacks for web facilitated learning. First, we can look at internet as a resource. It can be positive in that students can gain information, but negative in that it is limited in how students learn and engage with the materials. Next, we can look at technology. Students have access to technology, but it requires minimal use of that technology on the student's end. And then finally, we have change in teaching practices. There is not a need for additional professional development and training around the online use. However, the downside is educators are not growing with technological enhancements. All of the concepts listed are both benefits and drawbacks to web facilitated learning. The blended or hybrid learning model. This model can offer the best of both worlds because it is a blend between the traditional brick and mortar style classroom and the online model. The amount of time that this environment is delivered online usually is from 30 to 79%. Let's explore the benefits and the drawbacks of a blended hybrid model. The benefits of a blended hybrid learning environment mirrors that of a traditional face-to-face and an online model. I would name the three crucial ones as physical human interaction, which allows learners to connect in a social emotional way and allows for character building. Also, a variety of blending learning models are available, which can include station rotation, lab rotation, individual rotation, flipped classroom, flex and a la carte, enriched virtual, project-based, self-directed, supplemental, and even mastery-based learning. And then finally, we have access to resources at any time and anywhere for students to refer to as often as they need or require. Next, we have the drawbacks. Drawbacks, however, include learners needing some type of technical skill to operate and take advantage of all of the technological tools and devices that are available to them. Learners also need access to Wi-Fi. The inability to access Wi-Fi brings in a socio-economic barrier to blended or hybrid learning. And then lastly, the learner must possess some internal self-motivation so that they are intrinsically motivated to complete their online activities. Okay, finally, we have our last learning model, which is online learning model, which requires either most or all of the instruction to be delivered online. The exact percentage of the delivery method online calls for 80% or higher. There are a myriad of benefits to the online learning model. I would just highlight the instructors acting as facilitators or mentors, it being more cost efficient in terms of travel and materials. Students are able to learn at their own pace with asynchronous learning. Also, it is a more flexible and safe environment to learn physically and socially with stated expectations and guidelines from the beginning. Of course, there are also the drawbacks. Similar to the hybrid model, there is less time for character building, especially for our K-12 learners. It completely relies on the learner possessing basic technical skills. It is tech dependent and no physical interaction, only virtual or through video conference. After researching the different models and reflecting on their benefits and drawbacks, I believe the blended hybrid model is most applicable to my elementary teaching practices. However, the online model is better suited for my pursuit as an online instructor for educators and other adult learners. Please take this time now to pause and read my full reflection. Thank you.